Welcome everybody. Today is a day that I'm going to work on the wing, and because John made a good analogy that I needed to kind of finish up the wing, because I'm getting real close and I'm going to want to stick this thing all together. So, as per normal, I set high hopes when I go over to John's to get a whole lot done, but it's real hard to do. The canopies came out fantastic. I will say that. It's just perfect. So, what we're going to do today, we're going to do some wing work. Now, I released that part one of Al Rabe's Millennial Mustang to the general public. I'm working on getting part two rendered. That will be available to members only. I have stuff that's never been seen before on YouTube. How to make Al Rabe's shock gear. Finishing the Bearcat. These are master CDs. Critical mass design. We're going to have a walk around with Al Rabe and Mia, his wife. And there's just a ton of them here. Of course, we have Al Rabe's Models 4. And he gave me these Al Rabe Model 4 videos to give away. To some people. We're going to have, I'll select some random members to give those to. And when I call your name or whatever, you just send me your address and I'll mail that out to you. Like I say, membership will have its benefits. But what you saw yesterday, that's Al's Millennium finishing. That was part of number one. But the computer is rendering number two for the members. I'm not sure my drive is working. I'm working well. I think that's why I'm having a problem sucking the information off the disk onto the computer so I can upload it to YouTube. If that happens, I did order a new DVD drive from Amazon. If that happens, members will get their videos that I promised. It just might be delayed a day or so. So I'd have to do two next week if I can't get it uploaded today. We'll get caught up somehow. Anyway, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to mark up this flap and get it mounted. Get it hinged. Now the best way to do this is not how I'm doing this. The best way to do this is to drill these holes in a drill press before you shape it. But I don't have a drill press here, so We're gonna do it this way. I've done it both ways. You just have to be real careful doing it this way. Oh, wrong one. So I've marked it out where it goes, and we're going to take a 16th drill bit here and drill into this. Now, a lot of guys say run these flap clips out of basswood and plywood and all that wood that I just mentioned makes these things a lumber wagon. Yeah, they make the flaps stiff or whatever, but you're carrying around a lot of extra weight I don't think you need. I'm not even sure you need 1/8-inch wire. So first was a 16th, now 3/32, and I'm trying to hold this drill bit in line with the flap. You don't want to poke through the skin. So I use the hand drill to drill it in. It has some long tails on this. And now the 1/8 inch. That's 732. This is 8. Nope. 9/64. Well, I had an 1/8 inch up here. But now I don't have an 1/8 inch up here. What the heck? Where did it go? The unorganized mind of Sparky and his nonsense. Of course, I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to be in this little apartment. I think it's going to be back home to St. Louis. Hey, good morning, Jack. Remember, everybody, Jack Snavely's a member. And like, subscribe, share. Join the channel down there in the box next to the subscribe button. It helps keep the channel alive, helps keep me wanting to make these videos. Shoot, what am I going to do? I can't find that 1/8 inch bit. Everybody thinks that I'm making a killing off of YouTube and the ads on Stunt Hangar. That's not the case. Trust me. I probably would if I was doing something stupid. Here, what's this? 1/8 inch. There we go. Found it. If I was doing something stupid like PewDiePie or some of them other characters and have millions of followers, I hate to even talk about it, but I got to get the membership up. Maybe I'm doing this wrong here. I need to be able to adjust the camera, so see what I'm doing. Okay, what I do is I take a, remember these hinges that I use, the center or the hinge line is recessed 3/16 of an inch. Maybe I ought to do it over my shoulder so you can see what I'm doing. It's recessed, the pivot is recessed 3/16 of an inch behind the leading edge. So we're going to drill a hole right straight over to that and recess the horn, the flap horn, 3/16 of an inch behind the. See, that way everything stays tight next to the trailing edge. These flaps aren't arcing out away from the trailing edge. They're rotating right next to the trailing edge. There's no gap. This hinging system is by far the best I've ever used. I'll never go back to crappy plate hinges. Dublo. It's a little bit more tedious, a little more of a hassle, but they're a lot freer. Okay, so then we're going to cut a slot here. And John, he has different ways of doing this. He makes fixtures and stuff. Where I'm just an old school guy. I do it by eye. Got a lot of practice doing it. And if you screw it up, just glue a piece of wood in and carry on. So that's what you end up with, is a notch like that. Take a fingernail file. File it nice. Let's see, got a little, need to soak it with some CA. That's another thing. Yeah, I don't use control horn clips anymore. But I do soak all this with CA to harden up the wood. Then of course, all this stuff gets epoxied together. These are sure handy what John made me. These are just pieces of brass tubing. Let's see a better one here. Yeah, I don't want to grind on it with 80 grit. It's already finished sanded. Now I will say this: if you do it this way, you have to have the flaps perfectly in line before you glue them on, because there ain't no twisting flaps. So part of the bench trimming is making sure things are perfect before you carry on. You know, I think that may be too tall, is what the problem is. It appears that my horn is bent over 90, so I got to take the horn out and straighten it up some. That'll make sure here. Yeah, see, it's over 90. It's leaning in at this angle. And what that'll do is put everything in a bind. You want to spend a lot of time on your controls to make sure they're 100% free before you go any farther. Okay, so I need to go over to the television. I'll show you. I have a vise mounted right here on the television where I bent these horns. Didn't take much. Yep. So now I'll force this in here, make sure that it's going to slide in okay. Now, got to go deeper with the hole. All the way down like that. I may have to cut some of that ear off. Yep. Not a problem. Okay. That'll save a little weight. I want to show you something else too that I'm doing on my airplanes. Not only are these horns, what the heck? Not only are the horns, bearings, and hinges bushed with an eyelet here. That's the weight bearing part of this horn. Is I have another eyelet here that I've slid on, so there's two eyelets, one here, and then this one, this eyelet will be the finished eyelet that comes out the side of the fuselage. So when it comes out the side of the fuselage, because these flaps have no fairings between the fuselage and the flap, so you want a nice clean look, I put another extra eyelet on there, so where it comes out the fuselage, it'll be a brass eyelet, so it's a perfect hole coming out the side of the fuselage. As I stated before, I'd like for this model to be exceptional. So, what I need to do here, let's see if I can find it, if I got one. I need a cutoff wheel. There's a cutoff wheel. I have a complete set of router bits. Super handy to have. They're all carbide bits on this row, and then we got router bits here and routers. Then shaping routers for my router table for the Dremel. Super handy. I hope I can get through that wire without having to change the disc. Changing the disc, well, let's see, I'll put a new disc on it and not whine about it. It's kind of a pain to change these discs for any of you guys who No, I hate it, but whatever. So, Jack, look for Millennium finishing part 2 today in the members only section. If I can get it uploaded. If not, I'll have to wait till I get my DVD drive. Those paper washers that are on this thing are pretty important. Don't lose them. Keeps the disc from spinning. My, how things can change in an instant. Okay, we're after 9 o'clock, so any neighbors complaining will be too bad. They play their stupid guitars. Yeah. Okay. Well, I got these cutters right here, but now let's cut them. That way I don't have to make any noise. Now, for you guys that are tool freaks like me, 1/8" piano wires. Ever since I was a kid, I remember my dad showing me how to cut 1/8" piano wire. Hey, Gary. And he had a big pair of lineman's pliers, dikes, or they were huge. They were big, but they didn't cut piano wire with a crap. So I looked, I don't know, 30 years, and I found these here. These are Nipex compound action. They're a little bolt cutter. You still got to put some shit into it, but they cut them. Takes 2 bites usually. I'm gonna have to dig around for where those little things went. Anyway, I've cut them off. We'll grind up the end, make it smooth. I don't know if any of you guys have this, but my mind is going away. I thought about those little bolt cutters yesterday, I said, you know, I haven't seen those in quite a while. I must have took them to work. Well, guess what? I didn't take them to work. They were sitting here on top of the bench. It's unbelievable. Just stupid stuff like that. Unless I'm in my space, not confined or not restrained. Let's see. Do we have anybody else on here besides members? Is this a members only video? I can't, let's see. I gotta find out if this is a members only video. It doesn't say. Current viewers. Activity. No super chats. 23 playbacks. So no, it's not a current view. It's not a members only. Well, let's go back to stream settings. Okay. Alrighty. Normal, low, closed captions, unlist until after replay once stream ends. Well, I can't use that. Okay, let's go with the flap install. We'll finish this up and worry about that other stuff later. This is basically the dry fit for these things. Now I'm doing this before I've hinged it. And we need to take a couple of pieces of wood, a couple of sticks. A couple of clamps. What I'm doing here is I'm taking 2 sticks of wood and I'm going to clamp this up like so. And now I'll fit the other flap. I'm going to end up shaping the tips. Finish shaping the tips, get them ready to go, and then we'll go around and finish the sanding. God, that's perfect. It came out perfect. We like perfect, that's for sure. We like perfect. Now, when you're doing my hinges, you have to think ahead because this wing is built with these hinges in mind. Inside this trailing edge, there's a block inset right here that the tang of the hinge can glue to, because these hinges are wood on wood, meaning there's no more nonsense of plastic glue, RC56 or whatever, any chance of it undoing itself, debonding from the plastic or nylon or whatever. It's wood on wood. You can glue these hinges in with white glue, epoxy, CA if you're careful, Gorilla Glue, because it's wood on wood. Anything that's wood glue, it will work. I think white glue is probably the best because it gives you quite a long time. I don't know. I get in a hurry. I get rushed up. I like to use 5-minute epoxy, but boy, if you're using 5-minute epoxy for these things, you better get your hump on because you don't have a whole lot of time to work with things. So you stick the glue in there and glue them in, and oh man. So anyway, so now I need to get some hinges ready. Let me look to sight down the trailing edge, make sure these flaps are, yep, the flaps are dead nuts in line. You want to make sure that you have the horn bent perfect and the legs drilled perfect so that the flaps are absolutely equal, because once you get these together, I don't use trim tabs on my airplanes. I don't bend flaps. I make sure they're straight when it goes together, and if the airplane flies with the wing up or something, that means there's a warp in the wing. You have to sight down the trailing edge, figure it out, and steam it out. And I didn't learn about steaming until I guess about 1990, when I started monkeying with Ron O'Toole, and he showed me that you could steam a 2x4 straight. So trust me, there's a lot of guys that I've helped out with the steaming. You can steam it out, no problem. You can steam a foam wing, a warp out of a foam wing, no problem. And I would defy anybody to bet against that. They say, well, you can't steam a foam wing. Yes, I can. I can steam through monocoat. I can, whatever. All you got to do is get the steam hot enough. And that wing will become a noodle. It depends. Even a foam wing, finished foam wing, and it does nothing to the finish of the airplane. The covering, when you steam it, might wrinkle up here, but how you get that out, let's say you've twisted it past where the warp is, because what's going to happen is you have to go past where the warp is and let it cool, and it will come back to straight. And what will happen is you'll have wrinkles in here. Well, as it's cooling, take a hairdryer and and I'm telling you, zero, you can't tell that the only thing that makes it difficult is if you have a D-tube or whatever and it still will do it, and it just takes a while to steam it, get it hot enough. A D-tube wing that's completely locked up, where it's a box and it's locked. It's harder to do, but I can do it. And that's thanks to Ron O'Toole. So we'll give credit where credit's due. Hope he's doing all right. Haven't seen him in a while. For you younger flyers out there, I will tell you this: you better pay attention to these older guys, because they know some stuff. Not saying me, I know quite a bit, but every time I get around old free flight guys or old stunt flyers, I pay attention. For the guys who didn't see, what happened to the mouse? Oh, it's over there. For the guys who didn't see the canopy finish yesterday, I remade the hood scoop. Let me turn this light out. Might be able to get a better inkling of what's going on. And we'll transition over there. Anyway, come on. I'll be working on that today too. The canopy. What I thought I'd do for this windshield frame here is I have some carbon fiber strips inside the frame. They're not quite as wide as this, but that's okay. But inside the frame, I'll glue that inside that frame so that somebody doesn't smash my canopy. I'll add a little weight, but no big deal. So we want to turn this off. Transition back to this. Been on 37 minutes. I do have to do laundry today, so this won't be a continuous video. I'll have to go do laundry, or else I won't have any clean clothes this week. Let's put it this way. We had a 2-month lockdown and hadn't been to the laundry, and I've used every piece of clothes I've had. So that's where that's at. So now I need to make up some hinges. God, there's just no room. Guess I need to only have on this bench what I'm using. I'll need that. I'll need that. That. This. This. Won't use that. We're done 80 gritting. Okay. So I'm going to use that machinist ruler. I don't need the tape. I don't need this drill. The pen we might use. Might use these knives. Sanding stick. This is the canopy part. Won't be using the tape measure. Okay. I don't think we'll use the tape for anything. Take one of these bolts. Don't need this. Just need one. Now I lost an airplane at Huntersville for what I'm going to tell you here. Always put an aircraft nut back in this screw up. I lost it on the T-nut on the elevator. There again, that's getting in a hurry or whatever. I know better. See, back in the day, we used to solder this stuff together, and if you got a good solder joint, you got a good solder joint, and it ain't coming apart. But I wouldn't even trust just blue Loctite. I would have a jam nut on this, on the back side of everything. Because if you don't, it's sure to come apart. Murphy's Law. So we got hinges here. If you want to try to use my hinge system, Southridge Machine down in the vendor's corner has my permission, which is a big deal. I told him to go ahead and cut those hinges for anybody who wants them, because I don't want to get involved in making them. I used to sell them for $15 a set. Now that sounds expensive. There's 15 of them, so they're $1 a piece, but boy, what a hassle they are to make. And I didn't want to be involved with it. So I need 6. I know I don't have 6 made. Couldn't possibly be that lucky. Nope. 6. So I made myself a little peening tool. There's a little nipple ground into this thing. This is just a piece of 1/8" piano wire. Ground to flare this end over on the other side of the hinge. Don't ask me where to get these little brads. You have to do your own research. It takes me forever to find them. So we got one in there. I don't want to be involved in any way doing these hinges. It sounds crass, but boy, it's a pain in the butt. So I'll tell you what I did, and you can figure it out. For about $30, Southridge Machine will do you up a box of hinges here. You know, I'd use some out of this. This box was full, and I've given some away. But that's probably the rest of my life's airplane's worth there for $30. Then of course you're going to have some different eyelets, and these are 16th-inch OD brass grommets or whatever. I'm not sure what you call these things, eyelets or grommets, or they look just like this one, only they're 16th. This one's a 332. I have some 8ths. These are 8ths here. These are short 8ths. They go for the control horns. The 332 ones go for the elevator horns. Everything has to be bushed. Or if you feel lucky, just don't even bother bushing them. Just put some wire in it. Drill a hole and put some wire, but I like bushed. That way we know if the airplane lasts 10, 15 years, the hinges aren't oil soaked and gonna fall off. So that's 4. Yeah. That's 5. One more. put this box away. If you ever drop this box on the floor, which I have done, it'll take you a while to get them all picked up. Okay, we got 6 made up. So it takes, in order to do an airplane, it takes 6 on the flaps, 3 per side, 7, 8. With these have 1/8-inch bushings in them. And then the same for the elevators. It's 2 on each side of the elevators, with 2 in the center for the horns. So you got 6 on the tail, and 3, 6, 8, 6 and 8. You got 14 hinges, 6 and 8. Yep, 14 hinges is a set. These are crafted findings. www.craftedfindings.com. 50 pieces. These are 3/32 with a 5/32 ID. These are no good. So you have to get the right ones. That's why there's a whole bag of them. It's an oddball. When I first started figuring this stuff out, I needed the ID on this, but this is where you can get them from. Crafted Findings. www.craftedfindings.com. And then of course you get the hinges from Southbridge CNC out of the vendor's corner. So now, because I don't have a hammer, I'm going to have to use a pair of pliers as a hammer. We'll have to go over to the little vise there. It's got a little anvil on it. And I'll have to do 6 peenings. 3, 4, 5, 6. Like, subscribe, share, super chats help. Become a member. See some Al Rage's videos this week. Okay. What the heck did I do with the pliers? See what I mean? I can't figure out what I'm doing. I leave stuff laying all over the place. Don't know what happened to the hammer. Can't see what I'm doing here. What happened here? We lost the screen. I don't know what happened there. It looks like we lost the screen for a second. Boring. All I'm doing is setting that brad so it doesn't setting that brad so it doesn't come out of the hinge. Yeah, Jack, I have no control over the internet. It acts up sometimes. Now I flared it out into a cone, and now I'm just tapping it down so that it's flush. You don't need anything for that, just a couple of taps to tap the cone down. Okay. It's either the internet went crazy or the Mexicans went out to lunch. I'm not sure. Okay. Let me open this door up again. I need some light in here. Yep. All right. 52 minutes. No new members. No super chats. Come on, guys. Get on the ball. Help a brother out. I think the hardest part of this hinging fiasco is finding the correct wire size to go through this hole. You don't want too tight, you don't want too loose, you want it to be spin like that on there. I think it's about 40 thousandths, might be 45 thousandths. Anyway, so now I've already slotted these pockets out here. So I need to make some wires that are typical inch long with a bend. And see, easiest way to do it is to bend it first, then cut it off. Pliers are crap. Get out the good ones. So you make a little L like that. I guess you can see it. Yeah, there you go. I'm gonna make a little L like that, about an inch long. We'll need 6 of them. Don't drop them on the floor because you'll put one of them through your toe, no doubt. I don't know where that 1/8" wire went. Oh, there's one right there. Yeah. So I got one down and one to go. I'll find the other one. I'll get these things hinged up. I'll go do laundry. That takes 2 hours. And I'll be back. I hate laundry day. It's 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll make one more just in case. Okay. So you take your hinge here and you stick this wire in it. That's a shorty. We'll leave that one out. Now, on this particular airplane, I'm trying some techniques that John uses. These are my hinges, but he's come up with a different way of doing them. I don't know. We're going to try it. I normally glue my hinges into this and finish them all together. You know, he finishes the hinges separate and finishes the pockets separate, and then puts it together and glues it in at the end. We'll give it a try, see if it works. Now, it makes no difference which end of the hole you have the tang at. The tang is just to keep the pin from sliding back and forth. And there's one installed. It's that easy. URC guys could learn some stuff. I watch free flight videos. I watch RC videos. I don't watch quadcopter videos, except for the one guy in New Zealand, X-Plane. He's funny. An old fart flying this 2-ounce drone around. What are they going to do? Okay, now we got to mark the holes and drill them, but I already have them marked. Maybe. Now how did that happen? It moved somehow. It's come this way. There we go. Another clamp on that. Don't move around. Okay, yeah, holes are marked. I already have the holes drilled, the pilot hole drilled. So I need the drill here. There it is. 1/8 inch. And then get one of them hinges and we're going to broach a round hole square. It doesn't feel like there's anything behind that one. I might have to open that up and I might have missed. So I'll have to pay attention to that. Might as well look at it now, I guess. Yeah, I didn't. I missed the block. Huh. Just as an FYI, it's not that's not something you can leave out. You don't want to monkey with hinges. I see why, too. No harm, no foul. No big deal. Only wood. Okay, so what happened is when I drilled into that right here, I felt that the drill bit didn't hit a backing block. So why it didn't hit a backing block, we're not going to go into that. It doesn't matter. But I know that it didn't, so we're going to whittle up one and stick it in there. Kind of important that that tang has something to glue to all the way back. So what have I got here? I guess we could take part of this canopy. Can mill this canopy riser into a block, I suppose. Do I want to go through that much hassle? I have the perfect piece right here. This is from the canopy risers that I was making yesterday. We'll just cut it off and sand it up. I need to get this light on here. Yeah, it helps. Get some light in here. So that part will go into the trailing edge. We only need it about yay long. I guess I could break out that stick there. Operation. Boy, super glue really is some good stuff. So, need to just open it up the other way, I guess. Come over about an eighth. Now you could do something like that and leave it like that, but when you crash and I walk over to your airplane and go, uh-huh, you guys, you weren't paying attention. So, I don't think you're not going to crash. Everybody does. Perfect. Be the coolest. How much more peace of mind that'll give you? Oh shoot, I pushed it up too high. Damn. Now I have a problem. I wasn't paying attention and I pushed it in too hard. Oh shoot. So how are we going to fix that? Let me take this off. Problem after problem. So, if it was me, I would just, and it is me, I'll just relieve it here. excavate this out of here. Damn, why did I do that? You look here, I pushed it up and there's a ridge right there now. So, easiest way to do this, take this little Dremel here, we'll cut it right in there. Almost. Might have to get the saw out. Yep, might have to get the saw. You guys ever get one of these, be darn careful with it. It's dangerous. This is the most dangerous. This thing scares the hell out of me. Why does it not want to suck down there? Ooh. There we go. There we go. We're going to fix that so that don't happen again. Should have paid attention. And you don't want to play today. Oh, that's why it's not all the way in there. Let's see here. If I drive it all the way down. If we keep that from happening again, we're going to glue it. Now I'm back to square one with this stupid thing, unless I would just stick a stick in there. So I need to cut out all that webbing there before I saw got it. We're going to replace that. That's the bad thing about doing these videos on the fly. I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing. I'm trying to get a good shot for you, everybody, and not that it's anybody's fault but mine. It's up, I don't know, a couple thousandths. Just sand it off. See what it says here. Yep, we all make mistakes. That's what the adage of shit happens is. Yeah. Take this out of the way so I can get some good sanding on it. But the most important part of mistakes is not making it, it's fixing it. Don't dwell on it, just fix it. There, that's fixed. Now we're back to the inside of the airplane. So, how do I want to do that? I've cut quite a piece out of that block. I guess I could just take this, sand it to shape. Stick it in there. Perfect. Now pay attention to what I'm doing here. Pay attention, Spark. That's over the hole. That's good. Glue it in there. Cut it off. I'm going to grind that down. I need to change back to this wheel here. Man, this saw is dangerous. we got that. Let's cut up some webbing backing and glue that back together so you can't tell that I made a boo-boo. Piece of 16th. I'm not going to go through the deal of setting up a jig to make this. I just cut it with a square. Measure, cut, and glue. And then show it to you so that you can't see that anything happened. A little less, about 9/16, I guess. Okay. Okay. So we need to cut that. I'll cut that back to there. I'm not going to worry about the little slot that's left. It's not a big deal. Only guy that can see this is God and me. And I don't think God cares. Okay, let's dump out any shaving. I guess I need to broach that before I go any farther to see, or I need to drill it to see if we got enough block in there. Yeah. To pick up the original fix. Yeah. We got enough. I'd hate to put it together and find out, well, he didn't get it right. Whatever. Okay. Let's get a hinge. And we'll broach it. Yeah, maybe. There we go. There we go. Okay. Oh man. Okay. Alright, the original fix is fixed. I need to put that piece of wood back in there. It went way over here. Is that it? Nope. There it is. Might take a couple of swipes on it this way. Straighten it up. Nope, need a couple more swipes on it with sandpaper. I don't want to force it in there and have that problem that I had before. So if you look in here, you can see where I butchered it up. But it's all fixed. Darn. There it is. Okay, that's fixed. Unbelievable. Always a problem. I think I had a problem over here. Not sure. Yep, but that's easy fix. This out. Push that down with some CA sanded off. No problem. Where's my sanding bar? It's going to take several more detail sandings for the whole airplane anyway. but should be alright. Oh man. Yeah. Need the long bar. Wind today. That'll be fine. Take some more sanding is all. Lots of sanding. Well, I don't know whether I can get this done today or not. Okay. Okay, we got somebody said something. No, Craig, they are not. The inboard wing is 3/4 of an inch longer, and the outboard flap is 1/4 inch wider. And that's to keep it from drooping the wing on the inside. When it hits a hard corner, it doesn't droop the outboard wing. You'll see a lot of guys, especially Billy Warwich, he likes to put tabs on things. I don't want to do tabs, so I build my stuff so all them things are thought out beforehand. Put a couple dents in this cap strip here. I might have to change it out. I don't know. Yeah, it'll be fine. Okay, good. I got that fixed. Seems like all I'm doing now is chasing, fixing. So we got this this section fixed. You can't tell that I did anything in there. Yeah, we're not gonna bother with it. So now I'm going to put the flaps on. I'm going to try to finish putting the flaps on. Hopefully I don't have another one of those that I missed. Okay. If we do, we'll just pick up and move on. I have to do it again. Maybe it's on this side too. I don't know. I could have put one there and one there, not remembering that the flaps don't start to out here. I bet there is none there. Nope, there's not. So I got to do it again over here on this side. Well, we won't make the same mistake twice on doing it. I got all kind of little dingers in those things. Okay. I don't know what I was thinking. Might as well drill it and fix it now. Now I gotta put it back. I gotta put it together first. do it a little different on the next one. Okay. Okay. What was I thinking? Must not have been thinking. We will stay on another 24 minutes and then I'll go do laundry. That'll be at 11 o'clock. Okay, here's another important thing. Right here, I have seen so many people, this is touching right here now, that you can't have that. So I need to relieve that, and I'm not going to worry about it this minute. I'm trying to get the other side done. But you got to leave at least a 32nd, more than likely a 16th between this and this before painting. Because covering and paint is going to add, I don't know, 40 thousandths maybe. If I were to leave it like this before I, try to finish, this would stick. I've seen so many guys out at the field that their flaps are hung up on the outboard tab or the inboard tab because they didn't leave enough room. So leave a 32nd minimum, 16th preferable. You can put a hard edge on it with 64th plywood and make them sheer or whatever, and then don't cover them. But I don't do that because I don't want to add a bunch of weight. So I try to leave paint or things off. So now, and trust me, I will work on this system. Right now, it's tight. It doesn't flop. I will oil, massage, align until this system is 100% free. Free controls are so important. Whatever it takes to get them free. So we got that. You feel that a little. It's no big deal. Need to check this, see what the problem is here. That's okay. Now, when I had this together, I noticed that my hinge line didn't stay perfectly butted up against each other. Well, when I built this flap, this is a built-up flap, it was straight, but now it's had time to relax. It has a slight bow in it. Slight. I mean, ever so slight, but we're going to get that out of there. For the simple fact, the reason I did these hinges was to not have that. So that's how much bow's in it. I don't know if you can see it. How can I do that and get you to see it? You can see the light underneath that. But that's not a big deal. We'll just take the T-bar. You know, why would I go through all this work on hinges and not get them absolutely perfectly straight? And that's part of, just a little bit more, and that's part of getting your control system free. If you want an outstanding model, you'll go through all this business too. I mean, Ron used to say, oh, you'll do it too. No, I doubt it. But yeah, he was right. So it didn't take long to fix that. Oh, I got my little sanding stick here. Yeah, I better not use that. Still a little bit right here. That's better. Let's see what it looks like. These hinges will be on and off this airplane another 100 times before it's finished. So once you get these free, and you do the elevators and get them free, and then you put the push rod on, you got to work on that to get it free. You probably got five hours in just controls, maybe more. Whatever, it's well worth it. John and I were talking yesterday about the cost of these airplanes. You know, if you buy an airplane for $1,000, you're paying less than the materials cost. And if you put my time in at just $15 an hour, even though I'm skilled labor, well, we use McDonald wages, you couldn't afford it. And that's why I get a kick out of people. It's just a hobby. Yeah, it's a hobby, all right. Where's the glue? On and off, on and off. Come on. I don't know, John. I don't think I'm going to be able to live with your system. I think I'm going to have to glue them on. Do it the way I normally did it. I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay. Get on there. Yep, good. Jeez. Was that worth it? I think so. Now we got a tight hinge gap all the way across. And it's freer. Okay. So, let's see, what do we got here? Do you ever line up the flap hole for the horn with a tube or anything? Lubricate it at all, or just what comes off the engine? I use, when I get it all together, and after it's painted, and everything's ready, I use a product called Dry Slide. It's graphite for motorcycle cables. And I just put a drop on each hinge, you know, whenever, and it works good. My controls are so free. I mean, all I gotta do is ask Charles. He knows. He's been here. Okay. Yeah, I like that. That was well worth the rigmarole. A couple little dents in it, but we'll figure it out. Okay. I got 10 minutes. I don't think I'm going to start doing this in 10 minutes. I need to load up the laundry and at least go do one load, shirts and pants, socks. Just throw it all in and go. Go, go, go. So I'll be back later this afternoon. I'm going to try, matter of fact, I'll set the Alrabe to render for the members. That would be on here, Craig Biswick, Jack Snavely, Gary Sinclair, that are on here now. But if you're a paid member, you're going to be able to see the hopefully my DVD drive works good enough that I can get it rendered and uploaded. You're going to be able to see the Alrabe series of finishing the Bearcat, finishing the Millennial Mustang, the Critical Mass, and these have never been seen before on the internet. So I know Paul Taylor's got some of Al's videos up, but these were not given to Al or given to anybody. These are the masters, and I have express permission from Alrabe to use them. So. I appreciate you watching, and if you're not a member, hit the join button down there. Become a member. It's $4.99 a month. Won't kill you. less than a McDonald's hamburger. And you get all this wealth of information and the dumb comedy I come up with. I don't think I've told the cat story yet, or the stick in the ground story, or the screwdriver story. There's a lot of them. Or my my $10 '57 Chevy story. How my dad survived, I don't know. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I'll be back later on this afternoon. Till I see you then, fair winds, tight lines. See ya.